it's definitely going to be the route moving forward. I sat in on a lot of spaces this last week, and hold on, let me just check something because I actually remember. Okay, Peaches, talk for me real quick.
I'm on mute. There we go. Hi.
Okay, there we go.
Blah, 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 blah.
You're good. Just needed to check something. Last week, when I went through and edited the video, I realized that my audio wasn't being recorded for the first like half hour, which was not great. But so I just needed to check that real quick. But yeah, I sat in on a lot of spaces this last week, and there were a couple of other projects that were actually talking about a setup similar to what we're trying to do now with this, not necessarily a DAO, but having the community more present with the actual decision making and project direction. And one of them, which it's over on the Solana chain, I believe, and it's a very prominent project, has a large following, and it's got a decent floor price. Like it's doing really good for itself. They, you know, even with their popularity and everything, their token gating is set to 5. You have to hold 5, but then there's also the requirements of engagement and everything like that follow. And that's kind of the board that gets to decide on things. And for them, you know, they're deciding on different things than we would be right now, but it kind of it holds the same premise. And so I thought that was really interesting, and you know, kind of wrote back into what we said. So I definitely think the 5 number would be really strong for us. Still obviously recognizing what was talked about last week of having the number a little bit higher and then potentially bringing it down in the future as opposed to the reverse. But I do believe that at least right now, going at it and just doing 10 off the bat might be a little difficult. Because the people that hold 10 or more within this project there are definitely some that are still around and still active and everything, not prominently in this Discord, but like I know who they are, and you know, we can get them in here and everything. But the other ones are people who are, for very reasonable reasons, you know, upset with the project at the moment, and so they're not as interested in being as engaged as they were before and everything. So I think 5 is a good threshold to set ourselves at for now. And then still keeping in mind the engagement possibilities and the contribution possibilities that can also open those seats up, you know, for people that are truly passionate about the project and everything. Kind of just having a vetting process, I guess, for kind of bringing people in and allowing them to have a say in you know, what's going to be happening. And really all that comes down to is just having a passion for the project and you know, wanting to be a part of, you know, what it grows to become and everything. So I don't know, those are my immediate thoughts on it, just after listening to some other things around the space and thinking about what we had talked about. I think for sure 5 would be a good place to do it.
I was just starting to type in, but I'll say it instead. What do you think about going ahead and doing 10, but you know, but just basically put on the council those people that are here and that are active, you know, and that have, you know, shown interest, you know, so that you don't have to later push the number up. You know what I'm saying?
Like, yeah, I definitely get what you're saying. And, you know, we definitely could do that. Because, like, I think with you, we determined that you're holding, like, 7 or something, right?
I think I saw that it was only 5.
Oh, but, 5. Okay, that could be the case. I'm trying to remember. There were a lot of numbers. It's probably right here. I could have just scrolled up and looked. But, oh, no, it's source code has 7, 64 blackout. You said you have to check. We scroll down. You have 5 blackouts. Yeah, okay. So it's 5.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you know, we could definitely do that. I think I do think 10 is a good idea. I do think it's still open enough. It's open enough and closed enough at the same time. But then again, as long as we keep respect to, I think my audio is coming through super loud on this track. It is. If we keep the perspective of, like, you know, people who are wanting to contribute, even though they may not hold that 10, but they have passion, like allowing them in, I think that works. So 10, you know, Yeah, I think 10's the number. I think that's probably our best bet. Just to keep it as, yeah. 10 makes sense. I'll go with that. Let's put that in. Let's put that in. Token gating 10. Okay. Holding collectively. Yes. Now, I'm gonna say here, and this is just my thoughts, and I definitely want more thoughts on this for sure. Which again, super sad that not more people are in here right now. But so I've written in here, holding collectively 10 Peekaboos NFTs grants an opportunity for a seat at the table, and I say opportunity there because I don't want it to be like just because you have 10 you automatically have a seat. I definitely think that there's still some sort of vetting that should exist for those members. Like if you want to be on this, if you want to have a seat, then obviously that already says something. But it's a matter of like, are you doing it for the right reason? I don't know. This is just a thought in my head, of like we could have people go out and buy 10 for the purpose of being on the town hall, but then they sit down, and they're a part of it and they attend every week, but there's no real contribution outside of voting. Like how do we want to go about this? Do we want people that are going to be engaging in the conversation and bringing up their own thoughts and opinions and ideas? Do we want people to simply attend and cast their votes? Like how should we approach that aspect of it?
No idea.
It's more so really it's more so really just something to think about, I think. Like there's no reason that that's necessarily a bad thing, because votes definitely matter, and in a sense we're still getting those opinions and everything. But I don't know. I definitely think that it's important that as we're trying to grow and change and become better, I think there is a lot of importance to be put on members, coming in and being a part of the discussion itself, helping figure things out and bringing ideas to the table and stuff. So for at least the time being, and if, we decide that it's unreasonable to try and put any other sort of qualifications on it, for the time being, I've just put in it grants the opportunity for a seat and not necessarily that it just inherently gives you one. I feel like my reasoning is justified for that, but again, if people feel differently, then we can definitely look at that. Hey, Dom Leaf, how's it going? Welcome.
Hello, I don't have that long and I'm a bit late, but I'm doing okay.
No worries. Yeah, we're currently just kind of going through the items from last week and just seeing if people have had any changes of ideas or thought since that last meeting. Currently, we're kind of discussing the token gating and came to the conclusion that holding 10 NFTs collectively can grant you the opportunity to have a seat. But that there are other qualifications that can put you in that space as well, being a dedicated holder or just a passionate, somebody who's highly passionate about the project and seeking to do good, can also grant you a seat. It just comes down to the actual vetting process from the town hall seats. So, and that's just kind of where we are right now. Do you have any thoughts regarding token gating?
Token gating, or you mean for the town hall?
Yeah, token gating the town hall. Not making it so that anyone can come in.
Yeah, that sounds good. What you told. Then from different areas, people are able to come in.
Okay. All right. Then I'll move on to the other item, and we can kind of circle back to that if other people come in or if we have a different idea. But town hall day and time. So we already ran a poll about this. We had a bunch of people take a vote. Saturdays, as far as the day going, and it's Saturday for me. It might be a different day for you guys, but today is Saturday for me. But Saturdays seem to be the winning day. It had 8 votes as opposed to 6 for Friday, which, it's not like it won by a landslide or anything. But Saturdays seem to be the majority vote. But, our attendance is obviously slimmer than it was last week. So kind of want to get everybody's thoughts. Like, Domlif, you said that you don't have a lot of time. Is Saturday not a good day for you, or is that the time specifically that's an issue?
Oh, it's already a bit later. That's also.
It's a bit late for you. The last one was a bit late for you as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, but we started earlier.
Did we?
Yeah, we started at 8. Today it was started 9, right?
Oh,
For
yeah,
me.
because last time we started at noon. We started at noon. You're right. Okay.
And I'm tired because I work today, so that's why I'll
Right.
go to bed soon.
So on weekends, like if we're gonna do it on Saturday, I can definitely have it start at noon. Because what I forgot to realize is that for the weekends, I work every other weekend. And so I was just trying to make sure that I could obviously be in attendance along with everybody else, but I wanted to make sure that I was for sure able to attend. And so I put the time to 1 p.m., which is when I typically get off work on the weekdays. However, on the weekends, I forgot that my shift is literally cut in half, if not more. So I'm actually available a lot earlier in the day. And so on Saturdays, it's definitely possible that we could, like, currently the start time today for me was 1 p.m. But I was off of work. I was off work at like 8:15 this morning. So, I mean, we could even start at like 10 a.m. my time, which would have been 3 hours earlier today.
Okay.
So maybe that's something to revisit. Like if we're okay with keeping it to Saturday, maybe we can put out a new vote for time this week, and have everybody go through and maybe select some different times for today, so that we're maybe able to grab more people and not have it be so late. Crypt, how is the time for you? I don't know if you were a Friday or a Saturday voter, or if you voted for both.
Yeah, I said I could do either one, but Saturday is probably better. And yeah, I would say, an hour earlier would be good for me. Maybe 2 hours. It gets to be about lunchtime for me, if and that can be a little more difficult. But if it goes like 3 hours or 2 hours, I'm usually finishing up lunch, so that should be, okay. And 1 hour sooner would be, great.
Right. So 2 hours sooner. So I just posted the time for 2 hours sooner, and then I'll post the time for 1 hour sooner. So these are the two times that we're kind of looking at here. And everybody should be able to view that in their own time zone. Like for me, that says 11 a.m. and 12 p.m. But for Domlif, it probably says something like 8 p.m. or 7 p.m. So
Where I look, the town hall.
yeah, Peekaboos town hall
yeah.
form.
7 and 8 for me.
Okay. Yeah, so I mean, we can go back through and we can do a new vote for times on Saturday and just provide those earlier time slots. We genuinely did not have a lot of votes for any times past the majority vote, which was 1 p.m. Literally, like it was like 11 people voted for 1 p.m. and then 2 people for 1:30, 3 people for 2 p.m., 2 people for 2:30, and it just wasn't anything. So I think what we'll do is we'll add in those additional 2 times, and then we'll also just keep 1 p.m. as an option. And we'll have those 3 times able to vote on throughout this week. And then by next week, like whatever is voted on, I think should be what we stick to. But yeah, definitely need to try and make this as open and available for as many people as we can, because attendance is obviously something we want to have when it comes to these meetings. So okay, so let me add that in here. Meeting day and time, re-vote for Saturday times. Okay, we'll put that in. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. Okay, revote for Saturday Times. All right. And then the entertainment branch. I actually don't imagine that any thoughts have really changed on this. And we can't exactly push forward at the moment. I feel like until we have maybe a little more people. But the other thing is like we still need to find a animator. And so as far as discussion goes on the entertainment branch, I feel like everybody was really comfortable with the idea of having it focused around the lore and not like just random bits. Am I correct in saying that we would much rather prefer to have a concrete storyline that we kind of follow and go along with that expands on the existence of the Peekaboos, and then open up the possibility for community members to kind of add in a personal touch with some creative writing?
Yes, that sounds good.
I agree. I think that's a good way to go. One thought I had was you might find more success with having one or two short clips that aren't necessarily part of the storyline, but just really engaging, that would kind of bring people in and maybe hint at there's a story coming, or there's a, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like a promo
That,
piece.
exactly. Yeah. So that might get it started a little better. But then the main focus would be on the story, but you'd have hopefully, the hope would be you would have an audience then to start the storyline with.
Right. So my initial idea with this, and it's actually purely because so my initial idea with this is to do a lot of like prior run up on TikTok. So like prior to releasing any of the episodes or anything, we basically do a bunch of different marketing ploys, I guess you could say, where it's these, little shorts, because Twitter has the biggest limit on like how long these things can be. But then I also figured out that they basically did away with their limits. So you can have 5-minute long TikToks now, which I had no idea you could. Anyway, but we would essentially take like 30-second clips. Like it could be a fight scene, it could be a mystery scene, like it could be a ton of different stuff. And just literally spend maybe a good week or two just posting, these random little clips and scenes and everything. And then in a couple of them throw up like a date, like for example, like March 11th, 2023, no, like not even saying what it's for, but just throwing the date out there to really build the mystery and everything and get some follows on the account. But the reason I'm saying that is because in the beginning stages of Peekaboos, we had a TikTok account and we released legendary videos. There's a couple of other videos too, but prominently it's videos of the legendaries that were contained within the Genesis collection. And we actually got a ton of engagement surrounding them, like hundreds of likes and rewatches and stuff like that, around just these short, literal, like 30-second, maybe even shorter clips of just the Peekaboos spinning. So I definitely had the idea for releasing content prior to the actual episodes that would kind of drum up excitement and engagement, because when we do release those videos, what we want to see is a bunch of people coming to watch the episodes and sharing them and everything like that. So I had a very similar idea. I think that's definitely a good shout out for sure. So on the entertainment branch, I will say promo shorts prior to episodes. And then the other thing I will say is one thing that literally any insight on this is helpful. Like I said last week, I'm actively going around and trying to find an animator, but anybody who is in other forums or anything across the space who could maybe keep an ear out. What's up?
You're getting rugged, or is it only me? While
He's
you're
getting
talking,
rugged.
I'm
No,
getting rugged?
yeah, you're kind of breaking up. And I thought it was me too, but I heard somebody else say it. So yeah, it's kind of just breaking up here and there.
Okay. Shoot. I don't see any issues on my end. My internet and everything is going strong.
Yeah,
now it sounds
it was
good as
like,
well.
yeah, you've been coming through very strong, and then all of a sudden you just disappear for a second, and then you come back full strength.
Yeah.
So it's not like you're really rugging. It's more like it's just cutting out and cutting back in.
I'm gonna switch. Okay, I'm gonna switch my mic to figure 8 instead of just right in front of it, because I am moving a little bit, so it could just be because my voice is coming from a different angle on the microphone and it's not picking it up as well. I'll even turn up my mic input, so hopefully that helps. If that doesn't, whoa, yeah, the light's turning red. Am I crazy loud for you guys?
No.
Okay, then we'll just keep it. All right. Let me go and check the recording and make sure I'm not blowing people's eardrums. Okay. Yeah, we seem to be good over there. It's getting a little high. We'll bring that down a bit. All right.
I would say it's a little on the loud side, but it's not like overbearing.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll stick with it for now. If it becomes a nuisance, we'll adjust. But essentially what I was saying is one thing that we absolutely need in order to get the entertainment branch started is an animator, you know? And that's something that unfortunately we don't have in-house at the moment, but that's what we would be looking to do. Obviously, the project doesn't have a lot of money that it can really fork out for this kind of stuff. I'm willing to dip into my own wallet and pay for things, but I don't have a lot of disposable income at the moment. So whatever we do find, it would have to be low in cost. But essentially, I'm out here looking for an animator right now that's willing to kind of just get started with us, and then, you know, as it grows and as things get better, you know, they can, you know, start getting paid and get paid more and more for what they're doing and everything. And obviously that's where a lot of difficulty with finding an animator is coming in, you know, because like if we had $10,000 to throw at an animator, like we would have had an animator last week, you know.
It's getting worse. You're cutting in and out a lot now.
Okay, hold on. Let me switch what I'm using. Hold on. Okay. How are we doing? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sounds good.
It might have been an issue with my mic, which would have been really weird, but it's totally possible. So I just switched to using my headphone mic instead of my desk mic, and hopefully that'll work. But anyway, essentially what I was getting at is looking for an animator right now. Don't like all intents and purposes will say we don't have money to pay for an animator up front. So we need to find someone who's willing to just kind of come in and grow with the project. For that reason alone, I've been trying. Arizona used to have like an art institute, and from what I can see, like it's pretty much disbanded, I guess. I don't know. I'm trying to track it down because essentially what I would like to find is like a student who's up and coming in the field who's willing to start out, you know, not being paid, but then work up to being paid, obviously, as traction grows and as, you know, income starts coming in from this. Because just at the moment, we don't have a way to pay for it. I was saying that I can pay for things out of my own pocket, but I don't have a lot of disposable income at the moment, and so it's going to be like it would be very minimal things that I can actually pay for. But essentially what I was saying is if you guys, like apart from me looking, if you guys could also just kind of keep your ear to the ground of animators in the space that are kind of looking for work or something, or if you see anything around that might be like a job board or something like that, for the Web3 space, definitely shoot that information my way, and I'll go out and I'll, you know, do the research and try and talk to some people, because yeah, like I think the entertainment branch is really going to be a home run for us, but it's obviously just getting to the point where we can accomplish it, which I genuinely don't think we will have a problem doing. It's just a matter of when, you know. So finding animator. And for all intents and purposes, I definitely think 3D would be a good route to go, but there's not a whole heck of a lot we lose by doing 2D and then maybe just upgrading to 3D in the future. But that's just kind of my immediate thoughts. I'm also currently on Thursday was my day off, and I spent probably about 3 hours just going through and learning how to rig and animate on Blender, because I have all the Blender files for Peekaboos, and I can create new boos with it and stuff. So it works for me to be able to kind of play around with. And so I was working on just a base file for the Peekaboos. It's literally just a black ghost with no traits. And I was just trying to figure out, how rigging and animating works. Because if there's a possibility that I can figure out how to rig and animate, then I can just do a lot of it myself. Because there's tons of forms and stuff that are available for like importing scenery, so I wouldn't have to go and build the scenery. I could literally go on a website and find a free scenery we could use. And so it is a very real possibility that we don't need to find an animator, and I can kind of just figure this out. But one thing I think something that would be really great is if we can have somebody within the community that does that. And yeah, which this is actually, I kind of want to reach out to Virtual Cat, because I know Virtual Cat does graphic design and has a little bit of experience in 3D, so it's possible that Virtual Cat might be interested. But that's just kind of where I'm at with the animator process right now, and I just wanted to throw it out to you guys to just keep your eyes and ears peeled and see if you guys hear or see anything regarding animators looking for work within the space.
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, so the next thing I wanted to bring up is I need that. Okay. The next thing I wanted to bring up is so Metalance hasn't joined in on the town hall, but Metalance is very avid on messaging me with concerns and issues that they're finding with the project and everything. And so I received a DM not too long ago. I believe it was last week actually. Where Metalance essentially brought up, what's Peekaboo's edge? What is our edge in this market? What's going to kind of make us more prominent? And part of that I do think is the entertainment branch and pushing ahead with that. And I feel like a majority of people would agree with me on that sentiment. But I feel like where we do lose our edge, and this is actually something that Metalance brought up and kind of helped me become more aware of, is Peekaboo's universe is it's kind of a sweet, almost childlike, kind of endearing name. And it actually might be worth looking at potentially rebranding the name. Peekaboo's universe has been around since December of 2020. Yeah, it's been around technically it's been around since October or November of 2020. And then we launched the Discord and everything December of 2020, and then launched the project officially in February of 2021. So it's been around for over a year. And we've seen a lot of ups and downs, but the point is the name has gotten out there. It's kind of done its thing. People have seen it and maybe been turned off of it and everything. So it might be worth visiting the idea of rebranding the name of Peekaboo's universe. And this would be full scale. I think the only area I would not touch with it would be the OG whips. I think we would just keep those OG. They would be the Peekaboos Universe OG whip collection. But other than that, this rebrand could potentially touch every aspect. We have the ability to adjust the contract if need be. We have the ability to update the metadata files of the NFTs so that their names could be changed. It also opens up the possibility of like a rebrand launch. So we kind of rebrand and maybe we launch a collection specific to these animated short stories, and we cater it heavily towards that, and we use whatever the rebrand name is. And so Peekaboo's universe doesn't necessarily die off. It just becomes like, we can label it as phase 1 of the project, and then phase 2 is, what we rebrand as. I don't know. There's a lot of different ideas here that could kind of go into this, but I wanted to hear your guys' thoughts on potentially rebranding the project, not just to kind of, to essentially give us a new edge. Again, Peekaboo's universe, it's been around for over a year. People know the name. People have had their issues with the project. People have things they love about the project, but essentially it has It has a brand that is associated with it already, and it has a reputation it's kind of built. So while we're sitting here trying to build something new, would it be worthwhile to go at it under a different name?
I would say at first I was hesitant when you said that because it's like, it's been Peekaboos Universe for so long now, but at the same time, I do think it could really help. Um, and I'm thinking maybe like just simplify it to like the booze or something that, but keeps the name Boo in there that, you know, honestly, I think the Pika is probably the part that sort of makes it cutesy and um, that. So I don't know. I mean, but that might. And the other thing is, often the shorter the name, the more it takes off. The longer names tend to get bogged down with things.
Okay.
Totally agree.
Anyway, just a thought.
I
Okay.
totally agree because we always say booze as it is.
Yeah, and
then-
that's one reason I said it.
Yep, that's perfect. That's perfect. And I also agree the Pika part makes it cutesy. You
So
couldn't have spoken it better.
yeah, and I think you're definitely right, and I think this is what Metalance was really hinting towards. Although he kind of encompassed the whole name, just Peekaboos Universe. It has, and it really Boo's Universe. Even Boo's, like when I hear Boo, I think of I think of Dragon Ball Z actually. Um, but I don't know. I think that also has kind of a sweetness to it. But to be clear, like this rebrand, it wouldn't necessarily touch the community in a sense. Like we can still be known as the Booze. And again, we don't even have to change what the old collections were called. It can still be Peekaboos Universe Genesis, Blackout Booze, it can still be that, and then just whatever we do next would be branded under, it would be the Twitter, the Discord, and whatever we do next would be branded under this new name. Um, we could simplify it and um could literally just call the project Boo Crew, um or Boo's Universe, Boo Universe. I don't know. I hadn't actually thought of keeping any aspect of the original name. When I initially was posed with this and kind of thought through it, I was like, okay, so what are some other approaches that we could take to it? Um, and um, and I actually didn't have the idea of keeping it short and simple in my head either, because what I came up with was like Soul Syndicate and Ethereal Collective and like just different weird stuff like that. So, huh. I definitely think there's some thought that could be given to that for sure. And kind of gathering up like a list of potential ideas and then obviously taking a vote on that. That's something too. That's another thing where um we definitely need more people to be a part of the town hall in order to kind of make that decision, I feel like. Um and at least have a good amount of comms about it, because yeah, something like that, it wouldn't even just be like it's only talked about in town hall. That would be something that there would be announcements across the Discord for, um maybe even a Twitter poll for it. But I'm glad to hear. Yeah, I definitely understand that. The initial hearing of it, it sounds a little sketchy because yeah, it's been Peekaboos since its fruition. Um, so it definitely can be a little bit scary, but I definitely think there's a lot of validity behind making a potential adjustment. And I think it could really, in this new direction we're taking, and because we're wanting to turn the project around and make change and make difference within our project and within the space. I definitely think it's a very valid idea to be considering. So I'm gonna put it down in the notes. But and we can talk about it a little bit more because uh yeah, I think there's a lot of thoughts that can kind of go into something like this, but I'll put it down in the notes for now as something to just be thinking about and discussing for the next little while now. But personally, I do feel like it's a really really good idea to make that adjustment. Peekaboos rebrand, new name, who dis? um, I wonder
Did
if
you go
even like
quiet? Did you go quiet for a while?
I did.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure I didn't miss something.
Oh yeah, no. I went quiet while I typed that out and then sent it, and then I said new boo who or new name who dis. But I I wonder if even like an abbreviation thing could be at play. Like, what if we just called the project Boo? Um, but it actually stood for something. I don't even know what it would stand for. I'm trying to think of ways to keep it short and simple.
Yeah, and that was kind of one of my thoughts, was just to make it as short and sweet as possible. And yeah, and I hadn't thought about making each letter stand for something, but it might work out to do that.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna go in and do a lot of thoughts around that. Just like what all could it potentially mean and everything. And also what's available. Because that's the other thing too, is when Peekaboo's Universe launched, like literally 2 or 3 months later, another project that had the name Peekaboos in it launched. Um and theirs was like, it was a different art style, it was a whole type of thing. Hey, Mecca, welcome in. Um but it was very, very different. But yeah, there's the other thing of like a bunch of people were actually tagging Peekaboos. We had some people last week that went in and they bought some blackout boos and they swept the floor of the Genesis collection, of a couple of pieces. And so they were posting and they were tagging Peekaboos, but they were tagging this DJ, because there's this DJ in like Minnesota or something that goes by the name Peekaboo. And so they were adding him, and I was like, I had to go into those messages and just be like, "Hey, I don't know if you meant to do this, but just so you know, that guy's a DJ, and this is our tag." So
That's
it
funny.
definitely, it may not be a bad idea to just kind of change it up, because even in the beginning days of the project, like when we were going out and getting collabs, like people actually mistook us for other projects a time or two, and thought we were like on the Cardano chain and stuff like that. And I'm like, no. So yeah, I don't know, just my
Yeah,
thoughts.
I just had a a thought on the name Boo, to make a word for each letter. So this just came to mind. What about Boo's outer origins?
Oh, okay. Let's put that down. Okay, let's put that in. Possible name idea. B.O.O. Oh, whoops. B.O.O. Booze. This is actually kind of cool. And the fun thing about this is it like doing this again, much like the entertainment branch and doing, animated shorts and everything, it opens up more doors. This would open us up for new collabs, but it also opens us up for the opportunity of a new project, or not a new project, a new launch, that can kind of go hand in hand with the entertainment aspect of things. It opens us up to being able to release like, um the Outer Origins collection, and then just centering it around like characters or events that could have taken place in the series thus far and everything. um but yeah, I don't know. Okay, yeah, I started saying that, but then there's also things to think about, like, we come to the original roadmap for Peekaboo's Universe, and we still have baby boos and the reincarnation boos to do as well. um there's a lot that still exists on our roadmap to kind of go over and get to, which is also things that I want to cover in these town hall meetings. But before we can really get to that, we got to figure out like how we're going to kind of be restructuring and rebuilding the project. So, um, but I like that. I'm also gonna put this in here. Um, there we go. Love it. Um, cool. So, hey Mecca, how are you doing? Welcome to town hall.
Hey, I am busy and working as always. I'm just glad I actually caught it because I almost literally missed it. And I was like, let me jump in here, but I'm working, so multitasking. Glad that you're here. I don't know what I've missed. And I'm so out of the loop on everything, but I mean, I'm kind of on the last little mishap that occurred that has everybody in a little frenzy. But other than that, I'm kind of out of the loop. So, yeah, I don't even know whatever happened to I think the last time I was really around, they were talking about
Hey,
the
Mecca,
live.
your mic has you super distant. You're cutting in and out quite a bit.
Oh, no. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. So yeah, glad to be here, but like I said, I don't really know kind of what's going on. I think the last time I was in the loop was when they were talking about the in real life bar thing. I don't even know what happened to that, if that's still a go or, but yeah,
Oh,
happy to be here and hopefully, we're getting back on track.
yeah, that's actually the whole purpose of this town hall and everything we're doing. So actually, oh, okay, bye. That was weird. I wonder if they meant to do that.
She dropped out a couple times, so I don't think she's having connection issues.
Yeah, she's back now.
Oh, I was going in and out. No, this
Yeah.
Wi-Fi.
No, you're good. You're totally good. I heard what you said though. So you've been out of loop since the bar. I don't know if I ever gave an official update on that because it's something that, like we said, we were going to work on in the background, and it is very much so something that I would love to do because the idea for the Peekaboos bar wasn't just to bring awareness to Peekaboos, and the brand, but it was to bring awareness to NFTs as a whole from a physical location in a prominent area that impacts, the people that have the highest likelihood of working and adjusting within this market, which was, I was planning on creating it in Tempe, Arizona, which is the same town that Arizona State University is in, which they have a bunch of computer science classes and everything. And months ago, when I was doing the Crypto Rejects podcast, we actually went down there and interviewed a bunch of people and found that there is a lot of interest and curiosity surrounding NFTs, but not a lot of people have enough exposure to it in their day-to-day lives to kind of to make a jump. And so the bar had a multitude of purposes along with it, but essentially what happened with the bar and why it's not actively being worked on right now, but is very much so still within the ideas of what we want and need to do, is it was actually going really great. We had an investor. I have a lot of business contacts, like Web2, like IRL business contacts, out of the state of Utah. And one of those people was an Australian gentleman. His name's Rob Joseph. And he owned a couple of bars in Utah called Boomerang. He had actually just opened up his third location. And then literally out of left field, and this is somebody I knew personally in life, and I've known them for a great many years. But out of the blue, completely out of left field, literally 2 days before I was supposed to sit down and have a conversation with him and get the investment and everything to go ahead and do this, he actually committed suicide, which is kind of a dark note to bring into this. So I'm really sorry. But so that kind of just threw a huge wrench into everything that was happening with the bar. And it really just set it on the back burner because I essentially have to go through now and I have to build a relationship with new people that are within that arena. I still have suppliers and everything like that for the actual liquor and for a lot of the technology and the physical items that need to be in place in a bar. I have contacts and relationships with people for that. It's really just the investment aspect of getting the bar up and running that I'm now having to go and build new relationships for and everything. But yeah, it's still going to be a thing, just definitely not as soon as we would have liked. Had those unfortunate events not transpired, we actually would have been we probably would have been maybe 2 months away from opening at this point, if we had followed the plan we were on. So that's what happened there. Since then, Mecca, the project has definitely encountered its fair share of issues, which you have seen, and we've really fallen off of the original path that we were on, the path of success we were on, and the path of favorability that we were on. We made a transition over into the Average Punks Discord because we thought combining our two communities would really help kind of foster new conversation and new opportunities for the community and for both projects. But unfortunately, average punks were working on their own thing, and despite endless conversations and planning and trying to work with them, and them seeming like they were all for the idea, they just really didn't end up wanting to really do anything. And so we ended up back in our own Discord. And very shortly prior to that happening, we made the team made what we thought was an incredible judgment call by making the mint a free mint to get it sold out and introduce new community members. We thought it would be a good ploy for us, and it just didn't end up going the way we thought it would. And because of that, it ended up upsetting a lot of people for very valid and good reasons. And so, yeah, we're kind of hurting a good bit right now. And essentially, the direction we're trying to take now is incorporating the community in the decision-making process and the project leadership aspect. And so what we went over in our last town hall meeting, which we kind of solidified in this town hall meeting, was the token gating that'll be necessary to be a part of these conversations and be a part of that decision-making process, as well as like meeting days and times, and kind of what our first action on this new under this new form of leadership is that we're going to be taking. And so you're kind of coming in like literally on the second meeting of us working to kind of rebuild the project and rebuild basically how we operate as a whole. And yeah, if there's any other details that you'd like, there was a recording done for last week on our YouTube channel, so you can go and check that out and catch up on what happened last week. It's actually pinned. I'll ping you real quick, Mecca. It's pinned in this channel. You can see the YouTube link right up there, and go and check that out. There's also transcripts in this channel from last week's meeting, so you can kind of follow along and read if you would like to, of kind of what went down. But yeah, there's a lot. There's been a lot that's happened in the project, and we're essentially just going after, if you take into account, wanting to do something different with the name and wanting to do something different as far as like our utility and stuff, which would be like the entertainment branch and things. We're quite literally basically going after a complete rebrand right now. It would be, new project leadership and management, new name, new path to utility and direction altogether. So hope that answers your question.
Yeah, I actually kind of knew all that because I left the Discord and went to that AVP Discord and came back. So yeah, I was in the loop for that too. And so I guess I am caught up. So is Kingsley still here?
Yeah, that's me.
Oh, it's Viking. Wait, who's the other one? No, who's the other one I always talk to?
Naked Z?
Yeah, that's who I'm looking for.
Yeah, Naked Z is still here. He was on last week's meeting. The only reason he's not on this week's meeting is because he's currently in Guatemala getting like trying out new roasts for the new coffee season. So he's unavailable at the moment because he's literally in a lab testing coffee. But yeah, Z is still here. Peaches is here. Basically from the original team, you have me and Naked Z, and Peaches, and that's what the team consists of. But the team, in and of itself, other than being financially responsible for the project and responsible for like the bots and how the Discord and the social media is handled, like other than that, we're basically turning project management over to, not turning it over, but we're involving the community and stuff like that right now. So like our role is quite literally just the financial responsibility and the like structure, I guess you could say, for like socials and stuff. So it's taken some changes for sure.
Cool. Thanks.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I was just saying thanks.
Yeah, no problem. No problem. Happy to catch you up however I can.
I'm gonna head off.
Okay, Domlif. Hey, thanks for hopping in, man. I'm
Yes.
gonna post the new poll after this town hall, and then we'll take votes and get a new time for next week.
Yes. Bye.
Bye. So yeah, so to come away from today, I don't really know what else we could touch on today. I definitely think the new name and everything is something we should really pursue. So I think what I'll actually end up doing, and let me know what you guys think about this, but I think for that we should post up an announcement for, available for the whole community. And oh shoot, there's one other. Okay, so before I get to that part, there's one other thing I need to do. So with token gating and everything, I think when do we think that should take effect? Let's start there. Out of I guess it's really just Crypt, Peach, and Mecha now. As far as token gating these meetings and these discussions, when should we have that take effect? Or what are your thoughts necessarily, I guess?
Don't know.
Do you have any ideas or anything on that particular topic?
Should we let them know before we do it? Is just my concern.
So it's been available in these okay. So this actually feeds into our communication thing that we talked about last week, right? There have been a plethora of announcements about town hall. And then we hosted the town hall. We had plenty of pings within the town hall forum chat itself. There was announcement within the votes channel to kind of like people should have been very aware of the town hall meetings about at this point and where they can find the town hall information, because in the announcements channel I have highlighted like where these meetings take place in Boo Crew discussions and stuff like that. So my question comes in is like, have we done our due diligence on making sure people are aware of what's going on? Like, they have the pings, they know where they can go to get the information, we've directed them to it. Like, is this something that we should put up an announcement about and be like, hey, token gating for the town hall meetings is starting, at this day or something, or this is, we're going to be token gating these meetings. If you have thoughts, like, I don't know exactly how to approach this per se, because I feel like we've given information and we've given people the opportunity to be aware of this and speak up and have a voice with it. This channel is open for anybody's feedback. So I don't know. That's where I'm kind of landing on it, but I want to know if like I'm in the wrong for thinking that way.
No. Just I wonder if as many people as we think know that the server's back open. Like, should we do another announcement on Twitter? Just, hey, it's reopened. You know what I mean? Because I'm still getting people in AVP asking, where the booze and stuff. So, and I posted an invite in the server, but I just don't know as many people as we think know about it, is all. Before we token gate it, that's my only concern.
Well, that's the thing with token gating is like, we'll like on FAQs, we'll release like how to gain it. Well, like we could even set up a separate FAQ channel specifically for town hall and everything, and just say like these are the qualifications for becoming a member of town hall, da 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 da. But I'm definitely open to that. We can put out some comms. We can leave it open for another week or 2 weeks to where it's just anybody can join and talk. And we can go through and we can run a targeted campaign around just like being back in the Discord, taking this new approach. And that would consist of a series of announcements in the Discord, a series of posts and announcements on Twitter, and we could kind of go about it that way. Is that what you're kind of thinking? And then once we've gone through those 2 weeks of kind of promoting everybody to rejoin the Discord and letting them know kind of what's going on in there, then on week 3 we release the announcement about token gating the town hall meetings, right? And then the following week the token gating takes effect. So essentially we would be about a month out from token gating these meetings.
I don't know. My sick brain's in full effect. Or just do it. I mean, it's not like floor price, is going to break the bank. And a lot of people, the hardcores, already have multiple. So, or you can just do it and then tweet about that. Hey, token gating the town hall, and maybe it'll raise.
Well, see, and that's where I'm having my confusion is if I put out an announcement saying, "Hey, we token gated it," are people going to get pissed off? And then are we going to run into the conversation of like, well, we put out announcements about town hall. We, the form was open. Anybody could come in here and see it and talk about it and stuff. Like the information was available for you to see and you chose not to speak on it. Like, I don't know. Because 100%, I'm telling you right now, definitively, without reason of a doubt,
Somebody will be.
yeah, if we put out the announcement saying we token gated this meeting, somebody who hasn't even attended this meeting is going to pipe up and be pissed off about it. It's going to happen. And that's not, I apologize if that came across in a negative way. I'm not meaning it in a negative manner. I'm just saying like, that's the pattern of our project is like, we put out information and feel like we make it as available as we can. And maybe we don't do it in the best way without knowing that. And then we put out a change and someone who, had just chimed in around that point or something is all of a sudden upset about this call we've made. So I don't know, Crypt, I want to hear your thoughts surrounding this. What do you think?
Honestly, I think it's partially in how you word it. I think if you put it as, come be part of the team or come be part of the community council, or however you want to say it. And the way to get in is, to these are the qualifications, rather than saying, we have a weekly meeting and it's token gated. You know what I'm saying? Put a different spin on it.
Right. No, there would definitely be like, yeah, it would have all the information. I wouldn't just be saying, hey, town hall is token gated. Have fun, guys. Good talking to you. Like, I would definitely put it out and be like, hey, everybody. So as you know, we've discussed taking this new direction in the project. And part of taking that new direction is opening up these conversations to members of the community that are passionate and that are, it would be phrased in a way that, just speaks to the passion and the engagement of the people that, have been here and that are fighting for the project and that want to have, their say or their piece in rebuilding it and making it, what it could have been from the beginning. It definitely would be a very heartfelt and inspirational message. At least that's how I would try and write it. So yeah, no, like without question of a doubt, that would be the approach that's taken. And then yes, it would have a very comprehensive explanation of like, this is what that means. This is, the qualifications necessary to be a part of this, and it would kind of incorporate all that. And currently those qualifications would be holding a collective 10 NFTs. So it could be a Peekaboos Genesis, it could be a Peekaboos, it could be Blackout Booze, could be, it could be Genesis or Blackout, and then obviously OG. But we determined in the last meeting that not enough people really hold that. But like if someone's holding an OG whip and they're holding, 9, Genesis or whatever, then yes, they're eligible, right? But and then it would also go in to talk about, this is also open to people that have an expressed interest and passion for the project. Maybe you don't hold 10 pieces, but you've been around since day one and you've always, participated in games and you've always been around for the announcements and you've always shared your thoughts and helped out member of communities, random acts of kindness, that whole thing that we had going. Like, members that have kind of been a going part of this would absolutely have a part. And I would phrase that in a comprehensive and understandable way. But at the end of all that, it would definitely say like members that have these qualifications and express the interest to be a part of it. Like, by reaching out in a ticket or something like that and requesting to be a member of the community council, which that was going to be my other thing, is instead of calling this town hall, I think calling it community council would be a really great idea. And that was going to be the second part of this that I brought up, is instead of, referring to it as town hall meetings and town hall seats, we would call it the community council and seats on the community council. Which I feel like that has a nice ring to it. I think people would, for the most part, be okay with that unless people are really solid on the idea of town hall. Because I figured we could use town hall for, like, speaking with the entire community as opposed to the decision-making part of the community. Just kind of my thoughts there. But yeah, so I mean, as far as addressing it, yes, that's important. So are you saying that so long as it's worded good, we could really, put it into effect at any given moment? Um, and that like if we were to do it right now, as long as there was clear communication about the process for becoming a part of it, we'd be okay. I think in conjunction, I think either path we take, we should definitely still run a campaign, notifying people of, the change in management and the change in, Discord, being back in our home and everything like that. I think either path we take, those are going to have to be some things that happen for sure. But I just want to get clear on what you were saying, Crip. So yeah, are you saying that as long as clear communication, then we just go ahead and pull the trigger whenever we want?
Yeah, I mean, I think so, but I think there's definitely, like you said, things that need to come first, and you need to get people excited for the project before you put out the details on how you're configuring things, and but I do think that the fact that it's a more of a community run project than it used to be is going to be a positive in people's minds. So I think, maybe putting that out first, that it is, it is a community, maybe not community run, but community influenced, or however the wording might be, that we are reconfiguring the project to be to get more input from the community for the very running of it, the very decisions that are made and things like that. I think that will be the thing to put out first, or the before it ahead of that it's token gated.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And I agree. Those comms would definitely go out first. Actually, as you started saying that, I thought of a bunch of graphics and stuff that I could create along with announcements that we could put out on Twitter and on Discord and stuff. So yeah. Um literally like a under new management sticker or something like that, and then we put community ran project, and then tagged on to that graphic would be an explanation, or the post explaining kind of what all that entails, which that actually brings me to another point. I'm going to purchase Twitter Blue for the project Discord, or the project Twitter, which I can't believe I haven't done this already. But I'm going to purchase Twitter Blue for it because one of the awesome facts of that is longer tweets. So when it comes to actually putting out announcements, you can be a bit more detailed with what you're actually saying. So yeah, I'm actually going to do that right now. Let's go and get Twitter Blue on the Peekaboos account. Twitter Blue. Oh, hey, they finally brought out an annual plan. You can pay for it yearly now. Well, right on. There we go. Saves you $1 a month. Wow. Okay. Sorry, hold on. Going in, putting card in information. I need to do this right now, or I might potentially forget, and it might get put off until next week, and I just don't want to do that. Shoot, it's asking for email. What email is this account under? Profile. Nope, that's not what I want. I want settings. Settings. Account information. Ah, we got to change that email. Yeah. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna have to put this off for a second because I'm gonna go through and update the email and everything on there. Because yeah, so a little bit of a rundown. Peekaboos Universe, we actually used to use Google, not Google, Microsoft for managing all project information and everything. Like we paid for Microsoft Business or whatever it's called, the 365 account. So we had a SharePoint that had all of our information and everything like that. Anyway, long story short, that is crazy expensive, like insanely expensive. I think throughout the course up until literally like 2 months ago, we had probably spent a total of like $7,000 or $8,000 just on the actual, like, where we're storing our files and, company based email addresses and everything like that. And it was a whole thing, which we are going to be looking to go back to that, but most likely not with Microsoft, because it was just like, we don't need SharePoint. We um, actually, quick tidbit of information for everybody, because this stuff is all going to come up in community council at some point. But so Peekaboos Universe owns a dedicated server through Contavo. And that's actually where a lot of our documents are stored now. So we actually have all the code and documentation and everything for the creative token. I don't know if anybody really remembers that, but the currency that we talked about having for Peekaboos Universe, it's actually all created and everything like that. We just haven't deployed it because there's just for a while there was no real utility in actually having a token. We don't really have a lot to build on that, but here in the future it actually looks like we will, and that'll be something to talk about in the town council. But we have stuff like that held on there. The Minecraft server that we initially created for the project before Microsoft came through, and they were like, yeah, that actually goes against Minecraft community guidelines, so nobody can have NFT based Minecraft servers. Anyway, that was hosted from that server, and all of our websites and stuff are hosted from that server, and it's like a whole thing. So basically that's where the money goes now, is to that server, because it holds everything we actually need it to hold. It's like a couple terabytes on a server in Germany or some shit. But anyway, so yeah, I actually don't remember why I exactly brought that up, but yeah, tidbit of information for you guys. So anyway, okay, I'm gonna put that on my personal notes though. I need to update Twitter email and get Twitter Blue. Okay, so here's my thoughts for this week based on what we just discussed. So beginning, I'll either start it today or I'll start it tomorrow. High chance that it'll happen today. But I'll begin putting out the comms and everything, and I'll begin setting up. I might actually get Hootsuite and schedule a bunch of posts so that they just come out regularly. Basically encouraging people to join the Discord, letting them know about the new management by community, and just attacking that from the social media angle and everything. And we'll run that promotion. I'm just going to run it for a week before we really make any changes. I'm just going to run it for a week, and we'll kind of reevaluate on the next town hall, or I'm going to start calling it community council, because by the time this becomes token gated, that's what we're going to be anyway. So, and if we want to change the name, we'll change the name. That's okay. But for right now, I'm just going to call it community council. But next week on community council, we'll kind of go over it, and we'll evaluate where we're at. If we've seen a good amount of engagement and everything, come back to the server and all that good stuff, and then kind of go from there and be like, okay, we'll push it another week, or okay, we'll token gate now, and still honestly continue pushing it. I think regardless, we'll probably push the under new management in our Discord thing. We'll probably push that for about 2 weeks regardless of the effect. Well, obviously, if it doesn't work, then we'll push it longer and we'll just reapproach how we do it. But so we'll do that, and again, I'll start that I think I'll spend today creating graphics and creating the plan and everything, and then beginning tomorrow, I'll start rolling out the tweets and everything like that. I'll get this recording uploaded. I shouldn't have to edit this one because there's no 30 minutes of no audio to cut out. So I'll get this converted and uploaded to YouTube ASAP, and I'll begin pinging that. I'll begin tagging the town council or Jesus community council meetings in. I don't know. I'll post the links on Twitter because I actually don't think our YouTube appears in our Twitter profile. Let me just check that real quick, actually. So maybe that's something I'll do too. Click on the link. Yeah. Why don't we link? Oh wait, no. Here it is. Click this. This prevented a pop-up window. Okay. Yeah. So it's not currently pointing anybody towards our YouTube. That's a ball dropped on my end. I don't know why it isn't. That's really weird. But okay. So we'll start pointing everybody towards the YouTube channel as well so they can kind of get caught up. And yeah, I think this week's main plan. So let me go ahead and put this down. Edit. We're going to take that. Copy. Save. Come down here. Paste. All right. Twitter campaign. Okay. So Twitter campaign bringing people back to the Peekaboos Universe Discord. Twitter campaign of community-driven project management and decision making. We need Discord announcements regarding okay. All right, real quick, Crypt, does that all look right as far as kind of what we've discussed and everything and what needs to be done moving forward from today? I'm just asking because the last time we got off the call, I started posting stuff, and you're like, "Hey, isn't that meant to, supposed to be something else?" So, just real quick, does that all look right?
All right, I'm reading through it.
Sounds good. I know there's some stuff spelt wrong in there. I'll go through and fix that. I suck at spelling. I spelled Saturday wrong, bro. Oh, really?
That sounds pretty good. You might want to add something to the third one, the Peekaboos Entertainment Branch promo shorts prior with an R to episodes. Maybe something about the episodes, maybe like what they're that they're going to be, the backstory or whatever, or the however you whatever wording you put. I can't remember now. The lore.
Right.
Just saying what the episode, what kind of episodes that we're talking about. There would, other than Saturday spelling, there was also
Why is it doing that?
in the first line, the word opportunity instead of ER is actually OR.
Yeah, no, I spelt some stuff wrong. I've actually already gone through and corrected that on what I'm rewriting. So as soon as
Okay.
I post the revised version, it will be spelled correctly.
But that was the only thing that really stood out to me, was just, where are the episodes? What do you mean by that?
Okay. So on the episodes,
Maybe episodes of Boo lore or something like that.
how about how about that one? So in I said prior to official animated shorts episodes. Or yeah, I guess.
And that's fine. Maybe you don't want to say that, it's going to be like following a storyline, that it's going to be the lore of the Peekaboos or something like that. But that was my thinking, was since we discussed it, maybe, to go ahead and add something about like what we decided on it being.
Okay. Yeah. No. That's actually a good idea. There we go.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay. Cool. So that's the list of things to be thinking about and also things to be accomplished. And actually, maybe I'll actually separate it out as things to be thinking about and then things I need to do. I can't really do anything about the promo shorts right now because again, still need an animator. But okay, I'll leave that as is for now. Just all around things to be thought about. Because yeah, if anybody looks at it, it's like, oh, Twitter campaign talking about people coming back to the Discord. Oh, I've got an idea for that. Like, maybe that'll work. Oh, yo. Okay. All right, cool. So moving forward, this is what's being thought about and worked on this week. I'll get an announcement up as soon as possible. Did I put that in? I did. Discord announcement regarding gated community council and what all that entails or involves. And that there I'll kind of talk about what community council is, why it's gated, and what the gating qualifications and everything like that are going to be, just so that the information is there as everybody's kind of coming back and getting familiar with it. I think that's good information to just give people to have them sit on for a while. But Okay. Other than that, is there anything else that anybody wants to address before we wrap up this week?
No, I'm good. I actually got to get going here. So,
Okay. All right. I'm going to leave on one final note then. If everybody could please do their small part in just encouraging other community members that you may associate with to join in on town hall meetings and everything. Again, attendance is going to be a big part. We're going to run the campaign, get more people into the server, and put out comms about what exactly this is. But the more people we can have on here next week, the easier I feel like these decisions are going to be, because we'll have a broader spectrum of ideas and thoughts and opinions. So if everybody could just be engaged, I guess, with the server in kind of talking about what's going on here and everything, and kind of help others understand and maybe encourage them to come along with us. That would be phenomenal. Other than that, I hope everybody has a great week. I'll be posting a new poll for the times and everything here very shortly. Literally, just give me a couple minutes here. And then we'll meet again next week and kind of go from there. As usual, if anybody has any follow-up points or concerns or anything they want to bring up, go ahead and post it in the forums channel, the Peekaboos Town Hall forums channel, and we'll go over it and respond to it accordingly and everything. So other than that, have a great rest of your weekend, everybody, and I'll catch you in the Discord.
Bye, guys.
thanks. Bye.
No problem. Bye-bye. Swear I do this every time. Gotta go in here, gotta go down here, gotta go end event. There we go.